GIS makes it easier to visualize and convey concepts to share with a variety of audiences. And that makes it such an invaluable communication tool. It also allows us to see visual flaws in data, such as holes or inconsistencies between countries' borders. So generally, GIS drives us to think creatively when addressing a research question or problem solving in all different fields.
Before I learned GIS, I was terrified of it because it's this big, scary acronym, Geographic Information System. What does that mean? But once you get started, at least in my case, I realized how applicable it is to everything and how useful it is. And for me, it's a very intuitive software. I never realized until I started GIS how much of a spatial thinker I really am and how there's a spatial component to just about everything.
In high school, I worked on a project that was basically about spatial distribution of native plants and animals, but we didn't have access to GIS and computers. So I used Google Maps imagery to get that data, basically, to get ideas of what land cover was. And so I came to William & Mary and was super excited to learn that there was actually technology for doing this way more accurately.
Most of our team members have taken GIS classes at William & Mary, but some of us also took them in high school. I personally started learning our GIS Pro in a high school class, and I really fell in love with the interdisciplinary nature of GIS and how it kind of manages to incorporate visual aesthetics of graphic design while displaying valuable data with a lot of statistical analyses, and it can be applied to so many disciplines.
In the same vein, I started my kind of GIS journey in high school working on a political campaign and plotting where advertisements would go around my county, just using Google Earth and really not knowing much of what I was doing, but it was still relatively effective. I'd say the one thing about the community is that it's incredibly collaborative, just with GIS users all over. One of our greatest resources is primarily crowdsourced, OpenStreetMap.
In terms of free GIS software, the best option that we found so far is a program called QGIS. It's available for free to download, and it's compatible for, I think, pretty much any and every operating system. So it's really easy to use and very accessible.
Getting started is not difficult, and there's plenty of people out there more than willing to help.
The easiest way, as daunting as it sounds, is kind of just to jump in, because once you start digging around, you'd be surprised at how intuitive the interface actually can be. There's an insane amount of online resources. If you ever get stuck or are confused about what a tool does, you can just Google it and find a very nice detailed explanations.
I have friends in intro GIS classes, and they're like, oh, I can't figure out this problem, can you help me do it? And I'm just I just Google it, and then I don't know any more about this problem than you do, but I have just learned which keywords you have to Google to get an answer that's actually useful to what you're trying to do.
I definitely did not think I was technologically inclined or computer inclined or even statistically inclined, but it really is a really awesome tool for visualization. So even just for getting into it, you can find a story map for almost any topic. It's a really nice way to present a research that's not necessarily a giant paper, and yeah.